Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy. I'm a full-time reseller primarily on the Poshmark app, but I do dabble on other online platforms and I sell locally. I like to share tips about what is currently selling on Poshmark, thrift hauls, thrift with me, videos, everything thrifting and reselling. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of my future uploads. And with that, let's get started. Today is Monday, January 27th, and I'm shipping out my sales from over the weekend. It was an okay weekend. The first item that sold is this pair of sterling silver earrings, and these are by Carolyn Pollock. They have a green stone. I can't remember what it's called, or if I was able to determine what the stone was, but whenever I can, I do include that information in the listing. And these did have her little signature mark for one of her brands that she sells through QVC. These did sell for $48, which I'm happy with. I picked these up at the estate sale where I spent $890, and it just keeps on giving. That was over 6 months ago, and I think I've profited close to $4,000 from that sale, which is so exciting. I paid $3 per piece for the jewelry. So after posh fees, my cost of goods, and any shipping discounts, that made my profit $33.38. I'm happy with that. I still have quite a few pieces of jewelry to list from that sale. I got a little bored with it and moved on to listing some other stuff, but I need to get back to listing that jewelry. Okay, the next item that sold is quite exciting, and it really wasn't listed a terribly long time, maybe a couple of weeks, and it is this vintage hand knit sweater, and it is Cowichan style, C-O-W-C-H-A-N. This one isn't an original, but it's in that style. Here is the brand name, and it had this cool graphic on the back. It took me a minute to figure out what that is, but it's curling. And I used keywords like, I put old money in there, I put mountains, cabin, country club, preppy, outdoor, chunky, hand knit, all the things I could think of. And I am glad I did, because it ended up selling for $140. I think I listed this for $169 originally, and this buyer offered me that $140, which I thought was quite fair. I paid $5 for this at an estate sale, so really not a very high price. Whenever I see these cool vintage sweaters like this for maybe $10 and under, I will always pick them up. They don't always sell this quickly, but eventually they do sell, and typically for pretty good prices, you know, $80 to $150, depending on what the kind of graphic is. And I do think I've also put like grandpa sweater, and if it had a different graphic, I would have put Big Lebowski. I don't know if I did for this one, but after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $107. I am absolutely thrilled with that. Really a great sale. These next shoes sold, which is great, but I don't think that I should have picked them up to begin with. They are a pair of Donald Pliner sandals. There is the brand name if you are not familiar. I used to do really, really well with Donald Pliner pieces, and certain ones still do well, but you just have to be more particular. And these ended up having some wear on them that will be hard to show you. But also I did not notice it when I bought them. anyways, they ended up selling for $25. I had reduced the price and someone liked them, so I sent out a pretty aggressive offer compared to what I had them listed at. But I think the $25 was, you know, a pretty fair price considering the style and the condition. So I am excited that they sold. I can't remember exactly how long these took to sell, but I would estimate somewhere in the range of 8 months or so. So definitely not a quick flip. And like I said, I am going to try and be a lot more particular about what Donald Pliner pieces I pick up in the future, and also manage my expectations for what prices I'm going to get for them. Early on, when I started reselling, I came across a whole bunch of Donald Pliner shoes, and they sold for great prices, like $60 and up. But that was, I don't know, wow. How long have I been online or selling on Poshmark? I think 5 or 6 years. So anyways, it's just not what it used to be, even though it does have a high retail. I paid about $5 for these. I think they did also have, I think, $4.99 discounted shipping. So my profit was only $12.02 on these. Definitely not my best pickup ever, but they still sold and they are out of here. I also had one sale on Cherish, and it is this vintage ruffle art glass vase. It is hand blown, pretty simple piece, but I liked it. And one of the reasons I picked it up was because it was cute and it was quite affordable. It was only $3. It ended up selling for $54 on Cherish, like I said. And this had been listed over a year. Again, probably not the best pickup, but I still made a profit of $40.22. So I think that's pretty great for a $3 investment. And I'm just trying to be more particular about what I pick up and manage my expectations for the sales price. So that is it for today, but don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell this week. I hope your guys' sales are better than mine. It has really not been a great January for me compared to my usual sales in January. So compared to last year and the previous year. But I just need to get focused again and get to listing, and I'm sure things will turn around. Again, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Wednesday and I've got quite a few sales to ship out today. I'm really happy to share them with you. So the first item that sold is this somewhat vintage sterling silver bangle bracelet. And it has this little wrapped detail on the side, just a pretty solid silver bracelet. I liked the unique detail of it. It sold for $50, which I was very happy with. I think that I got this at the estate sale where I spent $890, so I only paid $3 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $37. I am totally thrilled with that and happy to sell another piece from that sale. Let's see, the next item that sold is this really delicate vintage sterling silver cameo. Isn't that just so pretty? It's a genuine shell, carved shell set in sterling silver. It is a brooch, and then it has the little bail there so that you can wear it as a pendant also. I always love cameos. I just don't do super well with them, in my opinion. Like, they seem like such a beautiful piece of art. I feel like they should sell for more than they typically do. But this sold for $35, and I really hope that the buyer loves it because it's really a beautiful little piece And it was kind of unique because it had Mary carved into it, which I don't always see that particular carving. So I paid about $3 for this. That made my profit $25. I can't remember for sure how long I've had this listed, but somewhere in the neighborhood of a year, I'm pretty sure. So it was time to move along. Oh, and I hit the 6-week mark for post-surgery today, so I am released to lift normal things. I wasn't allowed to lift more than 10 pounds, which was really hard for me to ask for help with groceries and just like basic things. So I am glad to be almost fully recovered and ready to move on. The next item that sold is this vintage bangle bracelet. It's costume jewelry, just gold tone. I thought it was a cool piece, interesting kind of decor on there. I don't even know how to describe what that is. It didn't have any maker's marks or anything. It ended up selling for $25. And again, I can't remember for sure how long I've had this listed, but I think probably over a year. So when I got that offer, I was happy to accept it. I also paid about $3 for this, so that made my profit $17. The next sale, oh yeah, both of the next sales have a lot of items that I've had for a long time, so I am super excited to move them out. This belt I have had listed for more than 3 years. I thought it was really cool and unique. It is alligator and definitely like looks artisan, handmade. I just thought it was gorgeous. And this has been listed since you could only have, what was it, 8 pictures on Poshmark, so years. I think, sorry, I didn't have bubble wrap for this and I think I need it. I think maybe I just had it listed too high to begin with, or I didn't update the photos and I should have, I don't know. I know I had it listed a lot higher than this to begin with, but it ended up selling for $35 and whatever. I am happy to get rid of this because I'm not going to wear it. No one else wanted to buy it for a higher price. So it is time to move it on. And I don't know if I showed you, it also had these little pieces throughout the belt. Just really a cool piece. And I looked back at the description to see, you know, maybe I didn't have a good description or keywords, and I did. So I don't know what the deal was. Maybe my thought of how cool it was just did not match with other people's. Anyways, it is sold for $35. I paid like $6 for this, so that made my profit $19.98. Definitely would not have picked it up to wait so many years for a $20 profit, but that is how it worked out, and I really hope that this buyer loves it because I do not want it back. And it had not necessarily some kind of small flaws, but I did very thoroughly describe those in the listing. The next sale is a large bundle. Everything in the bundle I have had more than a year, some items more than 2 years, some more than 3 years. So I am very excited. I'm going to go through piece by piece. I think it was 6 items and the sale price was $90. The first item was this little charm and it is of a plain. It is new, still on the little card. The next item is this vintage poodle brooch. This I have had listed more than 3 years. So I am happy to get rid of it. Why did that take so long to sell? Look how cute he is. I'm going to put these in their own little baggies and wrap them in bubble wrap. Maybe I'll do that after I share the other items, just so this goes faster. The next item is this fun retro belt. It's metallic. It has silver and gold, a really cool buckle. It does kind of have some rippling in it, which I did include in the listing. Hopefully the buyer can still enjoy it. It's been listed more than a year. And then the next three items I got all at the same sale. And it was the sale that I've been talking about going to for the Faircourt Rodeo Princesses. It's from last year's sale though. So this has either been listed almost a year or just over a year. So I am excited to move these out. The first item is this faux suede fringe dress. Isn't that cute and fun? Nothing special for the brand. It's Hot and Delicious, which I think is a boutique brand, but I just picked it up because I thought it was cute. And I thought that someone would want it sooner than they did. Kind of the story of a lot of these items that I sold today. Kind of hard to get all this fringe in there the way that I want it to, but I hope that this buyer is really happy with all these items that they picked. She put them all in a bundle. I have an automatic 10% discount or 15%. I think it's, yeah, I don't remember what it is, but for bundles of 2 or more, they automatically get that offer. And she came back and offered me $90, which was about 35% off of my asking price. Because I had had all of these items for over a year, I eagerly accepted that. And like I said, I hope that she is happy with everything. Okay, so the next items are, first off, this pair of linen Athleta kind of jogger pants. How do you guys do with Athleta? I hear other resellers say that they do well, not as well as they used to, but that they do well with it. It just sits and sits for me. So I am really particular with what I pick up, if I pick up it at all anymore. The next item is this cute kind of Western peasant Angie top. This again is like sometimes sold at boutiques. I've also seen it sold at some Western stores. I can't really think, like Ranch and Home. Anyways, I grabbed all 3 of these pieces at that. It's kind of like a fill the bag sale for those of you guys who haven't heard me talk about it before. You fill up your bag and then go to the front and they tell you a price for everything. For this haul, my average cost per item was about $2. So for all of the items in this bundle, I paid about $11. So that made my profit $61. That isn't really super great for the amount of items that sold in this bundle, but I don't care. I want to get rid of all of those pieces. And I think, you know, the amount that she paid per item is really what they are worth. Okay, the next item sold on Cherish, which I'm excited to have a sale on there. And it is this very large teak salad bowl. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful wood grain. It also had tongs with it. Very cool piece. It did have a mark or a sticker on the bottom, and I can't remember what brand this was. but I was able to look it up. I pick up these teak salad bowls regardless of the brand if they are a nice size, in nice condition with pretty wood grain. And they do end up selling, but they do typically take a while. This sold for $129 plus an $8 packaging fee, which is in addition to the shipping fee, and the buyer pays both. So the total sales price was $137. I think that is wonderful. I paid $8 for this at an estate sale. So after Cherish's fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $100.62. Very, very excited about that sale. And I have been talking about this a lot, but I'm really trying to focus from now on, let's see if I can do it, on, having items that I'm selling for over $50. I don't think it's worth it for me to be spending too much time on items that are selling for under $20. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I do have access typically to higher or better type items that I can sell for higher dollar amounts. So I really shouldn't be messing around with those lower dollar items. However, I get on those thrift ties. I've talked about this before, and I just buy stuff. I have a ton of stuff to list, so you will still see me listing items that are in the $25 to $30 range because I've already purchased those items, but I'm really trying to be cognizant in the future. That is it for today, but don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell. Hopefully I have some more great sales this week. I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Friday and I've got some pretty great sales to ship out. I am excited. I sold another pair of these vintage eyeglass frames. These are again Christian Dior. And those of you who watch all the time have heard this story a million times, but I went to the estate sale of an optometrist and he had a whole bunch of these demo glasses. So they have the clear lenses, and as you can see, it says Christian Dior on there. This has been probably close to 2 years ago. I think these are so cute. I need to go back through and pick out a pair for myself and have sunglass lenses replaced because I think these are really fun. I ended up getting 30 pairs of eyeglass frames. Some had the clear lenses, some had prescription lenses, and some had no lenses. One thing that I haven't mentioned before or I'm not sure if I've mentioned it when I've sold these, is that if you do come across these designer glasses, don't be afraid, even if they have scratches on the lenses. Every single pair of these that I got had noticeable scratches on the lenses. And I put that in the description. I said scratches to the lenses. These may need to be tightened or adjusted. And, I describe them as demo glasses with the clear lenses, or I would say if they had a prescription in them. So don't be afraid if they have prescription or damage to the lenses, because a lot of people who are buying these are just going to replace the lens anyways. These sold for $100. I should have said that first. I did sell one pair, and they didn't have lenses in them. And the woman said that the optometrist near her would not replace the lenses. But I called my local optometrist office and they said, yeah, no problem. We can just trace it and have lenses made. So it can be done. And this is probably the 20th pair that I have sold, and that's the only person that has had any sort of issue. Okay, so I paid $5 a piece, like I said, after Posh fees and my cost of goods. That made my profit $75. Wow, another really great sale pickup that I was unsure about at first, but I took the risk and spent some money, and it turned out really great. So the next item is this gorgeous sterling silver beaded multi-strand necklace. So it's all one piece, really, gorgeous, excellent condition. This came from the estate sale where I spent $890 and it ended up selling for $50, which is great. As I've said, I paid $3 a piece for the jewelry from that sale. So that made my profit $37. I'm happy with that. I did have this listed a little bit for a little bit higher amount, and the buyer offered me this $50, but this has been listed for a little while, so I said, yes, I will take that. Let's see, I think I'm gonna add a little bit more tape so this doesn't slip out the ends. Oh, something that I've been meaning to talk about. Are any of you guys over tapers? Because I have realized that I am certainly an over taper. Like when I get boxes or shipments in the mail and they just have one piece of tape on each side, not one way and one the other way, I'm like, I'm surprised this made it. How did it make it through the the mail like this? I always have to have a tape this way and a tape that way. And if it's a big heavy item, I have 3 each way. Let me know. Are you guys willy-nilly about your tape and think one's good enough, or do you think you need the extra? The reason that I say that is because there has been so many times that I have received a bigger, heavier package and it is just squished and, you know, misshapen, and when there's not enough tape, it starts to come open. And in fact, I ordered a expensive handbag from Poshmark the other day, and it came and she had put one piece of tape one way. It was coming open. She shoved the bag in a box that was too small for the bag with no additional protection. And I'm not going to say how much I spent, but it was a fair amount. And I just can't believe that she just shoved it in there like that, let alone like as a customer service perspective, but like if you shove it in there and it gets damaged, you're going to lose out on your bag and your money. So I don't understand how people think, but I do think that sometimes I am a little bit OCD or over package things. What do you guys think? Okay, did I already say I paid $50? It sold for $3, so that made my profit $37. I'm thrilled with that. And that took, you know, a few, 4 to 6 months to sell. I didn't list everything from that sale right away. The next item's kind of interesting. So it's a belt, and this has only been listed a couple of days. So I am putting out, this video will come out after that video comes out, but I'm putting out a Goodwill Thrift With Me video tomorrow. Tomorrow. And so I wanted to get everything listed from that video, and this is one of those items. So it is a genuine leather belt. As you can see, it is new with tags. I had never heard of this brand, Amsterdam Heritage. Apparently it is a higher end brand. It looks like their belts retail anywhere from like $89 to $200. They do custom belts, like made to order. And I just liked this because it had this kind of snakeskin print and it's a little bit metallic. I picked this up at the Goodwill for $5.99. It, in addition to this brand tag, it also had a TJ Maxx tag on it. And I didn't look at what the price at TJ Maxx was because the Goodwill sticker was covering it up, but it was a yellow tag. So I assumed it had gotten marked down quite a bit. And it ended up selling for $40. So I'm wondering if maybe I underpriced it, but it's fine. I listed it for $45, and then the buyer liked it and got an offer for $40 with discounted shipping. I have been, you know, a little bit more cautious about what belts I have been picking up lately, just because I hadn't been selling them as quickly, but it does seem like I'm kind of seeing a resurgence in those. So anyways, keep your eyes out for this brand, maybe even at Marshall's and TJ Maxx when they have the yellow tag sale. I have picked up belts there a couple of times. Like I picked up a genuine alligator or crocodile belt there, and I think I paid $20 for it, and I ended up selling it for over $100. So sometimes they'll get nice pieces and you can still make a little profit on them. Okay, like I said, I paid $6, so that made my profit $23.02. I'm really happy with that, especially for a, you know, pretty quick flip, and it is easy to list. Okay, also for those of you that are my regular viewers and subscribers, I've talked about worn out Carhartt coats before. Here is another one. Let me see, I'm gonna button this up so you can kind of see how dirty and worn it is. It ended up selling for $89. And let's see, can you see that? It has all sorts of dirty marks and wear. This is an older piece. I don't know if it's necessarily true vintage, maybe within the last 20 years, but this popped up on Facebook Marketplace or one of my local buy sell sites. Did I say for $10? And so I messaged the lady right away and said I would take it. And this wasn't listed a super long time either. Maybe between a month or two. And like I said, it sold for that $89. I listed it for $99. And same thing, this buyer liked it and got the 10% off offer with discounted shipping. I have that set up automatically with my Posher VA. I think it sends the new likers an offer within like 3 or 4 minutes of liking the item. And I do feel like I get quite a few sales from that. So that made my profit $58.22. I think that is really great. So if you see Carhartt coats or other kind of workwear coats that are distressed, people will still buy them. Actually, I was watching Kaylee Elaine again, and she was talking about different types of items that sell consistently regardless of the brand. And canvas coats were one of them that had an excellent sell-through rate no matter what the brand was. Now, I don't know that you'll get, you know, $80, $100 for a St. John's Bay one, but if you could pick it up at the bins and sell it for $30 or $40, that's a great return. Okay, so that made my profit $58.22, if I didn't already say that. Okay, so the next item that sold is just this Columbia fleece pullover. I actually picked this up for myself because I liked the color combo. I'm just batting 1,000 here, knocking things down. But it was just a little bit too big or too long for me. I didn't quite like the fit, so I decided to list it. And the only reason I picked it up at the time was because it was on half price, and I only paid $4 for it. It ended up selling for $28. It was not a very quick sale. Probably took over 6 months to sell, but I still made a profit of $15.42. So I think that's great. Oops, for a $4 investment. I might have to add another piece of paper to this, and for something that I bought for myself without the intention of selling, and I still made 15 bucks on it. Let's see if we can use a lot of tape and doctor this up. Yeah, I don't know how I am going to break that habit. I am curious to know if you guys feel the same way about not using very much tape on packages. Oh, I forgot to finish the story maybe about that designer handbag that I bought. Luckily, it arrived unscathed. It was, you know, kind of crushed in there, and it had leather trim. So I was afraid that it could, you know, damage the leather trim or the canvas. It was a Louis Vuitton bag, but everything seemed fine. It didn't have any water damage or anything like that. But I can't believe people when you're shipping something like that. Maybe it's just a lack of knowledge that they don't realize that it could get left out on a porch or in the weather or something. Sometimes people tell me that I should be wrapping all my items in plastic and not paper. So I guess it's just a matter of opinion. Anyways, it's Friday, but we are having a get together tomorrow at our house. We're having a poker tournament with all of our friends. And so I don't think I'm going to ship tomorrow. So I'm just going to tell you my totals for the week. So my total sales were $946. That's okay. It's better than last week. And I think the week before. My total cost of goods was $78 and my total profit was $663.88. I think the date today is January 30th. And I just took a quick glance at my Poshmark sales for January compared to last year. And I think I am just about half of what I was last year in January. So that is not good at all. I think it kind of just has to do with the world that we're in right now. And I'm really hoping that things will kind of even out and people will start spending again. But I can't control that. What I can control is how active I am on the app, listing new items, sending out offers, relisting items. So we just need to focus on that. I had a total of 15 sales. One of those sales was a bundle of about 6 items, I think. So that will kind of skew my other statistics, but this is just how I do it. So my average sale price was $63.06. My average cost of goods was $5.20, and my average profit per sale was $44.26. I think those are all good statistics. Like I said, if I had have added those 6 items that were in that bundle, it would significantly reduce everything. One other thing I wanted to say, and I think you guys all who watch me regularly know this, is that when I share my sales and my totals, it is never meant to be bragging. I don't necessarily know that for me and my business that this amount is something that would be bragging. But I don't ever want you to compare your sales or yourself to my sales. If you want to use, if you sell less than me and you want to use my amounts as a place to strive to, then yes, I want to encourage you guys. I want to share things that are currently selling for me so that you can possibly keep your eyes out for those and sell them too. I feel like some of the items that I sell are different than other resellers share. And so I think that it could help you find items in kind of niche areas that are less competitive. So if you live in a bigger city and there's a ton of resellers, maybe these are some of the items that I buy are items that other people aren't looking for. That's kind of what I find in my area, but I live in a small town. So I think I have a little bit of an advantage. Anyways, I just wanted to be sure to say that because sometimes you look at, or sometimes I look at resellers who sell much larger amounts than I do. And I think, boy, I'm really not selling very much compared to them. Or I'm selling more than them. Typically, it's not that. But we don't, comparison is never a good thing to do. We can use those amounts to set goals to increase what we're selling, or we can use the information that they're sharing to improve our business. And that is really the purpose of my videos. Something else to keep in mind is that, like, for example, Kaylee Elaine, she shares these huge $10,000 sales weeks. And I'm not saying that she doesn't work hard, but she does have multiple employees that are working for her to get to that amount each week. And if I had people working for me, hopefully I would have a lot, bigger numbers too. And I pretty much 98%, I do all of the work. And so I'm really proud of my numbers, even when they are next to someone else's. Also, you never know what advantages someone else has in their area compared to yours, in their life experiences compared to yours. So all we can do is just try and learn from each other and get better. Okay, enough of a TED Talk, but I was just thinking about that the other day when I was kind of comparing myself to another reseller. And I think you guys know that my intentions are genuine and to share and help people on this channel. If you like my videos and you appreciate what I share, I would love it if you would give my video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. All those things tell YouTube that people like my videos, and so YouTube suggests them to more people, and it helps my channel grow. All right, thank you guys so very, very much, and I'll see you guys all again next week. Bye-bye.